Hey, what's going on, Cole? I forgot that I forget that Spotify is actually shareable. Like you can use it as a group thing. I should do that. That's actually a good idea. Um, I know that there's like widgets that you can like impose on stream where it shows like what's playing and stuff like that. But we can figure that out. But this is the same mix as yesterday. This is the Shin Megami Tensei Mega Mix. But I agree. Every single one of these songs has been absolute fire, and I remember it being this way when I had when I was playing the games as a kid. It's one of the reasons why I was so into it, because I'm like, man, these songs are metal. They're super good. Like, it's different than other stuff. It's more not more edgy, but I wouldn't even say it's darker. I think it's just good. I really don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, today we're finishing our cell shaded guy. Exactly. Like it's got these sick guitar riffs, and then it'll switch to like organ keyboard, or it has organs and keyboards in it at the same time. Not the usual mix. So I think it's a very unique and cool style. That's for sure. Let's turn it down just a little bit because I can barely hear. And we turn it up just a little bit. Okay. So today we are continuing our guy, Pumpkin Guy, Jack-o'-lantern, and we got to do so like just as like a contrast. Undone completely. Some cell shading, but we've got lots and lots to go. But thankfully now all that's left is the cell shading, so we can focus on that entirely for the whole stream, which is exciting because last time I feel like it wasn't boring, but it was lots and lots of layers of the base colors, which is important to learn. So it's not a waste of time or anything like that. I'm glad we did it on stream versus off. Pumpkin dude. So cell shading is this style. Well, let's do it on the painting cam. So cell shading is this style where it's designed to look like a 2D cartoon in 3D. So it's got the heavy black lines and no blending on the internal colors. And when it's done on the whole thing, it will look sort of like a 2D figure that's been shoved into 3D space. So that's what we're trying to achieve. But there's still lots to go. So we're gonna get there, but it's gonna take a little bit of time. And a lot of the key points are where to do the black lines after we do the initial colors, because that's what's going to take it to that next level. Real quick, let me just adjust my lighting here. Need a little bit more light. And we can get started. Whoop. Good morning, Yoichi. Thank you for joining again. Nice. Oh, yeah, my water. I copied you because you have a good. That's a good thing to just do, is to be hydrated. It's probably better for me to have that than not. I don't drink enough water. Okay. So we're going to be continuing our guy. Let me get my reference image. 1 second. Pumpkinhead. Always fun. I made it to your stream yesterday, Yoichi, because I woke up in the middle of the night. It was 3 a.m. for me, and I meant to stay, but I ended up falling asleep in the middle of it. It was too soothing in a good way. Okay, got my reference image. There we are. So remember, we're trying to make it look like this. So Cole, this is what we're using as sort of like a template to use, is where we're doing high shadows and low notes and deep colors and things like that. So what's going to be fun is on the opposite side, this side is going to do a mirror reverse. So it's going to be the dark inserts versus this has light, because light is coming from this angle, so coming down like this on the model. This side is opposite, it has none. So it's going to be essentially the reverse image of this, so that when we turn it, it will look really 3D. So we're going to do that today. But we got to continue, we got to finish up this section here, and we'll do like the hat and stuff. So we can do that. What colors do we need? We need Glowing Inferno. I wonder if does anybody like the paint shaking sounds? I don't know. Maybe is that good? Is that good ASMR? The paint shaking, or no? Maybe I should make that a redeemable paint shaking. Yeah, I probably will. See if that gets any traction. Now, need my big brush. Oh, actually, one more thing. Before we get started, I wanted to show this. So today, instead of paper, if anybody does the, yeah, exactly. If anybody does the draw redeemable, I'll put you on the pumpkin today. But we'll do an initial face first. Let's do They finally started selling these at like my local grocery. They're called I forgot, Sweet Minis or something like that. They're not meant for anything other than decoration. At least that's my understanding. So we can play with it a little bit. Let's do about one eye there. One eye here. Is it cutting out? I did lose a few frames. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, I'm losing frames like crazy. Hang on. I think I have too many things open. Let's see if that helps. Is the video still cutting? I can see that it is, or at least it was going, it's getting bad on my drop frames counter. Dang, I don't really know how to fix that other than closing stuff. Yeah, and it seems to keep going right now. It's because my connection. Shoot. May need to refresh. How do I do that? Did that make it in? Is it still cutting out completely? Yeah. It looks like it's pretty bad. How do I refresh stream? 1 second. I hope that fixed it. Are we fixed? It looks like my signal's back. I really hope so. I don't. Hey, thank you. Sorry. Can you see me? Okay, great. We fixed it. Sorry about that. I had to restart everything. It is bone hours. Okay. What was I doing? I was drawing on a pumpkin. But we can come back to that. But thank you for coming back. I didn't know if it was gonna like kick everybody out, or if it's gonna be like where everyone has to rejoin. I don't know how that works. Gone forever. Womp womp. Okay. Let's continue. Pumpkin guy. Did it just reconnect, or did it start a whole new stream? I don't even know, because when I shut everything down, I have it set to where it like gives me like a 90-second buffer. Did that even work, or did it just start a whole new thing? That's the first time I've ever actually stopped and restarted stream. He's got this hat, and we're gonna put that back on in a second. We just need to continue our cell shading. Okay. let's continue. So we want to put more black lining. And more of the brighter orange. Let's freshen that up. Didn't have to fight any today? That's good. It's always better when you don't have to. Not this time. Okay. One more right here. There we go. And then a little bit further back here. Right now we're just brightening up the highlights on this one really quick before we move on to the other sections. Need a smaller brush. So, like this. Something that's pretty key about this style is to be more sparing than not with the black lining, because it does actually make a difference. Something like that is enough. You don't want to bring it out more than that, because it gives it just enough of that definition to where it doesn't think like it's like you don't go all the way. You have those those gaps where the light would show. Then there's one right here. Right now, these are real pumpkin hours. There we go. Then we'll keep going around the side. Yeah, don't do it all the way. That's exactly right. You don't have to, and it's not advised for this specific style. There we go. Okay, let's put the hat back on and kind of see what it's more. It's easier to see kind of what the progress looks like when you put it all together. Okay, so we finished the black lining on part of the head. Like, that's all we want to do. We don't want it to go any further. What we can do next is we can bring out the peak highlights on the face with the absolute brightest areas, and this is where we be even more sparing. So this is a higher highlight tone, inner light. It's a lighter yellow. Now let's try being careful. It's really just the center areas that we're applying this. Just to give it a little bit more definition in one or two of these peaks. Yellow Coast 4 logo. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Continuing. Just adding some more of these peaks. There we go. And because this is a lighter yellow, you do need to do a couple layers of it because it doesn't start out as non-translucent as you want it. There we go. I think that's peak enough. This is the other part. You have to be willing to stop. You really want to just doing just enough to make the effect actually pop instead of overdoing it. Doing another coat of this off-white to the glove. Imperial Fist yellow. No, I don't need to go that. Don't need to go that deep with the yellow, or that bright with the yellow. It needs to still be an orange. Okay. Now we can mess with the lamp a little bit, but actually first, we're gonna do the eyes, just so that we can have some more definition on this face. So first, I actually wanted to, I did it backwards yesterday. So they're supposed to start out white, and then we apply the fluorescent to them. And that can be a white ink or a matte white, doesn't matter. In this situation, I'm doing just a flat white, just so that I can quickly overtake the color that was already on there. I hope we didn't lose Yoichi from my disconnection. Okay, let's fly to the other side. You've been lord upping on Imperial Fists. There we go. Got a little bit of white on the eye edges there, but we'll fix that right now. There we go. Okay, now we gotta let that dry completely. And let's do the hat while we're still on this side. So the hat is already this green skin green. So we're gonna go with the lighter tone first. We're gonna go wild green here. And this one's a little trickier because it's got what are kind of like folds in it. So we have to be careful. But again, the same principle applies. We have to apply lights and shadows sparingly and no blending. None whatsoever. Okay. So judging from the position of the face, this is going to be right here. Going to go all the way down. Make that line nice and straight. Okay. Keep it going. That is going to travel pretty far. And this needs to be completely opaque for the effect to work. So this may require a couple layers. A little further. The key is I don't want to see the end of that light source when looking at it from that angle. Yes, exactly. And the eyes move. So he looks at you. Okay, let's do it for the top of the head. For the top of the hat, I should say. Gonna be right here. Coming up to the mid fold area. Yeah, they move. Okay. Keep it going. Gonna match the triangular pattern of this. And there's a little more. There's a seam here. Just like that. Because we're mimicking where the hat is sort of folding. Going here. It may be easier for me to see, but there are literal shadows being cast on this. And this connects to that light. There we are. And then when we apply the black lines, that's going to look a lot better. But now we actually apply the darker green to imply the fold, so to speak. So that we're going to go with Cadian green, this one here. Actually, no, we're going to go even darker. It's the blighted green. Okay. Get that ready. And this is where we apply it here. So this is like the internal fold. Right there. That travels all the way down. And comes back up. And then this also goes over here. To imply just how dark it is on this side. Okay. And there's some more here. And this seams fold. It comes up into that section. And also down here. And up here. Anywhere where the fabric is implied to fold. So just like that. Needs to be a little pointier. Turn the brightness down a little bit. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, there you can see it a little bit better. Okay. And then need a little more actually. This way. That needs to be straighter. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. And then while that's drying, we can apply some black lines to give this some definition. So there'd be something, and this is where the folds, this is where we define the fold. So something like this. And then it would be along the brim area here. Actually, might be better if I use the marker for this, but let's keep going with what we can do with the brush. There we are. And something back here. Statue change? Oh, status change. I still don't understand what you mean fully, but I'm just going to trust that you know what you mean. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use the marker for this. Hey, V. We're back with the cell shading, of course. This part's a little difficult because this 3D print is pretty jagged. So it's a little hard to be even-handed right here. But we're doing our best. You didn't miss the first stream. You missed, you were there for yesterday. First half of this guy was yesterday. Thanks. Pretty happy with it so far. Just because we have the marker out, I'm just going to imply the knuckles right here. There we go. Let's keep it moving. Where else? Up here on the rim section. Actually, no, we need to do one thing first. We need a very light gray. Not a super light gray. There we go. Because the shadow on the white of the hat is still going to be a gray. Okay. And that's going to be here. Got a little bit of that on the brim, but that's okay, we can fix that. And then that keeps going this way. Maybe that needs to be a little darker. We'll see. We'll let that dry first. It may need just a couple layers because it's gray on white. So let's reapply some of that green skin to the top of the hat. I'll also let us straighten these lines out a little bit. There we go. And then now we can also apply this black lining to that brim and really make that pop. And this does have to be a little thicker to be visible than what might you normally do. Coming just a hair down. Just like that. And we're going to do the same for the brim. Going just a little bit up onto the colored section. I feel like I'm concentrating so hard on this one today. Okay, let's keep it going. Need to really bolden up the white here so that nothing's coming through, because it's kind of not ruining the effect, but it's definitely belittling it a little bit. Do that here as well. Yeah, the hard part here is that the stuff needs to be straight in order for this effect to work. Straight and super opaque. Gotta let that dry all the way. Wasn't quite dry enough. We'll do this side. Yeah, I like the music. Good song. It's gotta be darker. Yeah, very, very scary song, very scary organ music. Oh man, the snare drums too? This is the boss character that's arriving on the scene. Okay, let's actually do, while that hat part is drying, I'm going to do some of the lamp. And that's going to be really dark. It's going to be almost black. But not quite. I'm glad you guys liked that one. That's was my favorite emoji to make. Okay. Do some high reflections. We'll actually start with the dark first. Is this music inspiring any of you to go back and play SMT? Because it did for me, that's for sure. I'm talking about the old ones. A little thinner. There we go. Never played? That it's a great series. It's well worth your time. It really, really is. Okay. Then we got to do a super bright section. This to give it that metallic highlight. Okay. He did get you this time. Okay, let's do the bright highlights. The company gray. Ad break. Thank you for dealing with those, by the way. I sincerely appreciate it. Okay, and then the brightest highlight actually comes immediately after the dark. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we'll apply a black line just to establish the values here. What's funny is that in cell shading, the black line makes the blends stop, which is exactly what we want. Do the other side. Pure cheddar. Okay. Gotta do the bottom side of that. No, we got it. Now this side. This is sort of the difficult part, is that you have to pay attention to where you've been and where you haven't. And it's, believe it or not, pretty easy to miss. Chat a break. I'm so glad that you guys are not annoyed by that. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining, Yoichi. Always appreciate seeing you here. Have a good rest of your day. Maybe I'll see you later on your stream. You're not randos. Not to me. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Have a good walk. Ah, yes, I do know what you mean. I'm being facetious. Part of the brand. Facetiousness. And using words like facetious. There we are. More definition there. Then we'll do more over here. Actually, no, we don't need to do that there. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Let's reestablish the glove here. That's going to require a darker this. Let me see what we're looking at here. We need a desaturated color. Oh, actually, no. We need to reapply this white here first. Then we're going to do some fluorescence. Cell shaded fluorescence is what we're going to try. But we have to make sure this is very, very, very white first. But I think we're looking pretty good so far. Let's reestablish this black line here. Used to be one up here. One over here. Down here. Then along the top section here. Defensorate. then up here as well. Then we're going to apply some folds with little straight lines like this. Do that a little further. There we are. We're getting cartoony. Dang, I just got that in the exact wrong place. That's okay. Actually, let's remove the hat for now. Yeah, so that we can work with it a little easier. Defenestrate. Need to let that dry first. Needs to go completely. Okay, let's keep it moving here. But it's looking pretty good. Let's do this black line while we have it off of the top. Actually, we'll still use the big brush. We also need to do it to the bottom section of the brim. It's going to be here. Oh no, I'm having super good time doing this. It's coming. The problem with it is that it requires mostly. V said it yesterday. It's like an inking problem. It's not learning how to do color, but learning how to do perspective. That's where inking comes in. That's sort of what this is. Because the colors are very simple. It's three or four colors in one step values above one another. Doing the shadows, and you don't even blend. But it's positioning them. It is. That's the thing. The colors are not difficult, it's the position. Little blue here somehow. There we go. I think this other side is dry at this point, which is what I need. Fix this little error. There we go. Straighten out that line. That's the other part, is that all the lines need to be straight. or as straight as you can possibly get them with a brush. Yeah, exactly. Do a little fixing the eyes here. Needs lots of coats of this white to make it bold. They need to be completely white for the effect to work. That kind of looks silly. Look at that, with the eyes, with the hat, and no head. Yeah, that could be. Could be. Good theories. Let's do one more, like little. There we go. The paint pen is still here, but I'm actually finding that it's less useful because I need it to bleed over, if that makes sense. I need it to go in a thicker, more bold line, and the pen is too thin. So I need to use the brush. Do maybe. There we go. How's this hat looking so far? It's looking pretty good. I think this is turning out really, really well. Let's do... Okay, let's put it back on the head. Okay. Now let's think about a couple more things. The glow of the lamp. Make that. Oops. Thank you. I'm really enjoying how this is turning out. Okay. It's still same principles, straight lines, even though it's a fluo paint. This is going to require several layers, I can already tell. This, I go like this. There we go. This song sounds pretty scary. Okay. And this is where we get to be discerning, because like you see how this, I'm only doing a little bit of that because at the angle, that's kind of what it would look like when it's reflecting on the inside. Oop. There's one thing I can complain about with this model, that it doesn't have a very solid center of gravity. Okay. Now let's add the yellow portion. This isn't too green. And let that dry. Cheap viewers, come on. Get that mess out of here. Okay. Let's add some definition to the glove here. That was me. I did it. I figured out how to I figured out how to delete it finally. So me. I need like it's gonna be like a brown actually, like a tan. Yeah. Something like this. Tacky. Yes, exactly. I think it's turning out pretty well. There we go. That's the color I needed. And a little bit over here. Sorry if I'm a little quiet today. I'm just paying so much attention to where I'm putting these these highlights. There we go. Then we'll do a black line. First, actually, we need to do... No, we'll do the black line first. There we go. Those little double lines really give it so much more depth. Just like those little hashes really take it up. Add another one. Okay. Now I need red. Very bright red. This will work. I needed to do the white first so that the red would stay as brilliant as possible. For this, and then I need to let the red dry all the way to reestablish the pupil. There we go. You're definitely getting there. Okay. Do just a couple of these. These little hashes sort of trick you into seeing depth. And the thing with this is that less is more. Just do them in the areas where it would be the most effective. Like that. Okay. I think this needs to go down a little further. Okay, let's bring this actually a little further to the side. Okay, and that red, I believe, is fully dry. Now we'll apply the white internal highlight. And just so that we can see the stark difference here. So this is the completed side versus the flat side. I think that really shows just how effective this this technique is. So I actually might leave it. In fact, now we are going to leave it like this so that we can kind of use it as a test case example, because we'll do future stuff. But man, the hat keeps coming off. I don't like that. But undone side, completed side. Yeah, it's day and night literally. My camera really just doesn't want to focus on that for some reason, but that's okay. We've got it. Let's do the eyes. And essentially it's just the internal circlets, the pupils. Okay, here's the eyes. Let me zoom in. It really doesn't want to focus correctly. How's that? I think he looks great. Now, this was a very, very interesting experiment, pretty much at all levels. A couple more just small tweaks that I want to make just to Very spooky. But I think he turned out great. This is my first time ever doing cell shading. So I think, given that, we did a pretty good job. But it's even cooler is like, okay, he's not staring at you. He's looking away. Then he looks. Looking ahead. Looking at you. Really got to figure out how to get this hat to stick. Whoop. Little lamp came off. There we go. I'm glad it does. That's the goal. Need a few small fixes here and there. It's always surprising to me when I see this style and I see how well it actually turns out, because you never think that it could work in 3D, but it does. Like we said at the beginning, it just requires that that positioning. He's just standing there, menacingly. Patrick Star. Who was he saying that to? The hat? No. The burglar. Or who? I forget who it was. There we go. He's gonna cast the multi-fire spell. He's gonna swing the lantern, and then he casts the he says yo-ho, and then he casts the fire spell that hits your whole team. But there it is. I think we're all done. I hope this was entertaining for you guys. This was super fun. I really had a lot of fun making this guy. So again, here's the finished look. This is where we take like the photos and stuff, and then just to see the stark differences. Done. Flat. It's almost like a cool effect where you can go Looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Actually, we're gonna do one thing. We're gonna do one thing just so that I can feel good about it. I'm gonna add just a tiny bit more shadow to the side of the face with the darker orange that I already prepared. You may not even be able to see it, but I will. There we go. I just darkened the side of the face just a teeny tiny bit right there. I think it does show. Then gosh, this is the hardest part. I said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. When you say like, okay, I'm done, you see like stuff that you're like, no, wait, actually, let me do that first really quick. It never ends. Never truly ends. Yeah, 1,000 different. You like everyone else is like, that looks amazing, bro. That looks perfect. I couldn't do it any better myself, or whatever. And you're like, but you don't know about that one section. You don't know about that one piece that ruins the whole thing for me. But I've already put it down, and I'm not gonna continue, kind of thing. The One Piece. Luffy and them and crew. I wish that the One Piece is real. Okay. Where else, if anywhere? Just one. Oh, I know where. Now I'm just doing things for my own sanity. This is technically a dark area. That. There we go. Okay. That's it. Calling it. Appreciate you guys. That's the end of the line for this one. I'll keep going forever. I really, really will. So this was the initial goal. I think we did a pretty good job of making him look true to his concept art. Don't you think? Now let's see. Nice. All right. Thanks everybody for joining me on the cell shading journey. He's gonna steal your lunch money. He's gonna steal your credits. What is the money in SMT? I forget. What is it? It's gonna drive me crazy. It's like maybe it's like a symbol. I think it just looks like, I think it's just a money symbol. It's literally, I think it's yen for real, because it's technically supposed to be just Japan. Oh, we did it. There's the completed side. Flat. Whoop. There goes our lamp. That's the one part about 3D printing, is that you can't make it perfect. At least not with my printer. But it was super fun doing this with you guys. Thank you for coming to the bonus stream today. I will see you on Monday, and I will I'm gonna put up a poll with pictures on Twitter for what model we're gonna do next. Bonus meme, yeah, doing the bonus meme. I love it. He turned out perfect. At least perfect to me. I'll post pictures of this, and then I'll post the polls of what we're gonna do next and what people want to do next on Twitter and in the Discord. So you can vote on which model we're gonna do Legion of the Damned, which is the super spooky ghostly Legion. But thank you for joining me, you guys. Let's switch it back to the paint cam just so we can end looking at our guy. And I'll post pictures of him completed on Twitter after this. But otherwise, good night, everybody. Thanks for joining. See you on Monday.